How do you add custom headers to JavaScript Fetch API? Imagine you're trying to talk to a server and need to tell it more about your request. Maybe you want to include an authentication token or specify the data format. That's where custom headers come in. They are extra pieces of information you send along with your API call to give the server more context. Using the Fetch API in JavaScript makes this pretty straightforward once you know how. To add custom headers, you include a headers option in your fetch call. This headers option can be a simple object with key-value pairs. For example, you can write headers like authorization with your token or content type to specify if you're sending JSON data. Here's a quick example. You call fetch with the URL, then in the options object, you add headers with your custom key-value pairs. This way, your request carries all the extra info the server needs. Another way is to create a headers object using the headers interface. This method is handy if you want to add headers one by one. You start by creating a new headers object, then use the append method to add each header. For example, you can append an authorization header with your token or a custom header for tracking. Once you set up your headers object, you pass it into the fetch calls options. This approach helps keep your code organized, especially if you're adding many headers or need to modify them dynamically. When working with fetch, remember that headers are part of the options object, which is the second argument in the fetch function. Header names are case-insensitive, but browsers tend to normalize them to lowercase internally. Be aware that some headers, like origin or content length, are controlled by the browser and can't be changed for security reasons. If you try to override these, your request may not work as expected. Custom headers are often used for authentication, like sending an API key or bearer token. They also help specify what kind of data you're sending or expecting, such as JSON or Excel, with headers like content type or accept. You might also add custom headers for additional info, like xCustom header, which can help your server process requests more effectively. Using the headers interface provides methods like set, get, delete, and append. These let you manage your headers easily, especially if your application needs to update headers on the fly. For example, you can check if a header exists, change its value, or remove it altogether. This flexibility makes managing headers in complex applications much simpler. Mastering how to add custom headers with Fetch is key for secure and effective API communication. It allows you to pass authentication tokens, specify data formats, and send extra metadata your server might need. This is essential for building web apps that interact smoothly with APIs, handle user authentication, or customize server responses. Whether you're sending a JSON payload or just adding some custom tracking info, knowing how to manage headers makes your requests more powerful and your applications more reliable.